Hello. I'm really not sure how to even start this video. I guess it's best to start it with my current R34 Skyline. So as you guys saw there, I got another R34 Skyline GTT, because when you can't afford one GTR, what do? You buy two GTT, which I'm totally fine with since I kind of already experienced a GTR since with the R32. It's technically better since it's lighter. Me making up an excuse for not being able to buy a $100,000+ GTR, I guess. But anyways, viewers of the channel, this is your first time viewing. Hi, guess you like Japanese cars, huh? For the guys that are with the channel, the Lotus is gone, sadly. I am sad. I do definitely want to buy another Lotus Exige within a few years, 100%. It's an amazing car and I don't feel like I fully got to experience it. Long story short, I wanted to buy that black R34 before I even bought the Lotus. I had my eye on it, just the price wasn't right, simply put. I ended up with the Lotus because that was another car that I just personally, like, my heart wanted, and I was totally glad I got it. I got to experience a track day with it, and I got to do some cool things, and I just kind of learned what I wanted out of a car. Now, in the middle of me owning that car, even before my track day, the same guy kind of, he lowered his price, and then he shot me a number that, like, I really just couldn't say no to, that I was like, shit, like, I need two of them now. And that sadly did require selling the Lotus. Did not expect it to sell fast because I was like, hey, if it didn't sell, it's not really a big deal because I really liked the Lotus. But it did sell within a week. I sold it 2 weeks ago now. Literally 2 weeks ago. It hasn't been here. I haven't posted anything on YouTube about it. I haven't posted anything on Facebook or Instagram. I just kind of kept it low key because I didn't want to like do another, oh, I sold my car kind of video. Because this time I actually genuinely was upset that I sold it. But I knew it was for the better. Or for the more logical choice, I guess you could say. You guys know I bought a ton of OEM GTR parts for this car, and it was originally meant for this car. I have quarter panels, fenders, side skirts, rear bumper, front bumper, splitter, lip, a lot of stuff. Now, the plan with this car is changing a little bit. It's still going to be finished and everything, but even when I was building this car up, slowly as I was building it, I realized, hey, this car really isn't worth putting all these super nice expensive OEM bits on it, because the car's been, you know, crashed, as you guys know, in the front really badly, and it's been kind of frame rail swapped and everything in the front. And like, I just kind of wanted to do fiberglass parts, you know, not like waste the stuff. If you guys didn't know, by the way, those metal quarters that I have, they're actually discontinued from Nissan now, so you can't even buy them new anymore. There's still a lot of people that have them new that are still selling them, but the prices are rising on them. And I just kind of felt bad, I don't know, using these parts on a car that I suppose isn't so deserving of it, because this car essentially is going to be, I don't want to call it a beater Skyline, because it's not really going to be a beater. It's still going to look nice and everything. It's still going to be painted Millennium Jade, everything as I planned. The only difference is it's basically going to have kind of fiberglass replica GTR parts versus OEM metal aluminum parts and stuff like that. Now, it's kind of weird to see because some of the parts are white, some of the parts are black. This is a GTR. This is all fiberglass parts. None of this is technically authentic Nissan or anything like that. The front bumper is a Z-Tune style front bumper, and the quickest way to tell is that it has those two vents there, one for the indicator, one just as a vent over the normal vent. It has the GTR lip for the thing, for the bumper. It has the GTR rear spats for the rear bumper, the GTR rear bumper, and I'm trying to think what that was called. The fender is actually Z-Tune. Now, the Z-Tune fender is just a GTR fender that's basically Z-tuned. No, I'm kidding. It's just an OEM fender that's essentially it has like that big flick out thing right here. Now, this isn't on or anything like that, but it basically has like this. This is about how it would sit. Well, it'd have to go. That's basically how it would sit, give or take. But it has this big like flick out piece right here. Now, I would drive the car, but we kind of have a small problem with this wheel leaking. That's alright, he told me about it, but so this car came from my motherland state of New Jersey, basically where I spent most of my life. Built my M3 GTR thing there, and yeah, but so he had T37s on this car, whatever. He just threw these on and threw like any tire he had around the shop, and this one's just totally leaking. I tried to inflate it, but it's a really fast leak, like really fast, so it's kind of preventing me from driving. But I'm gonna probably take the rays off, the teal rays off. They're gonna stick out so much because the fitment's kind of made for like GTR fitment, which is like an inch out. But like I said, we have GTR fenders, so those will be going on at a later date. I don't know when, because Jesus Christ, it's just so hot in this state. So I had work today and I finished early just to film all this to you guys, because I can't keep my excitement in, and I don't want to post any pictures anywhere else until I post the video, because obviously I want you guys to see it first and everything, you know, get a detailed look before I just post general pictures of this car. But yeah, it's literally bone, like, essentially it's a bone stock R34 GTT with a built Neo engine and new clutch and all that stuff. But yeah, everything in here like works. It's a OEM steering wheel, like lights, radio, gas gauge, AC. I think I need to recharge the AC, but like everything works. So if you guys remember my interior, well, this is how it's supposed to look. Basically, I need them rear seats for the dogos. Gonna be able to bring the Shibas in here, which I'm super excited about, because I couldn't do that with the Lotus. But yeah, even it has the OEM Skyline floor mats. I've never actually seen the OEM floor mats. It's kind of neat. I know they're not really special, they're just the base model floor mats, but still, I know this isn't technically a base model because the turbo manual, but still, because there is an automatic NA or manual NA options too. And then if I haven't mentioned, this is a 2001. The one in the backyard is a 98. 98 was GTT only, 99 up was GTR, but they also made the GTTs up until 2002, I believe. So yeah, it's not bad looking, it's just, it sticks out so much, just like it did on the white car. It sticks out like a full inch. With the GTR fenders, it does come a lot closer to clearing, but still that 275 is going to have to go down to a 255 or 275, just because the 275 is already over bulged on that wheel, so it would gain a tiny bit of clearance without having to really stretch it or anything. And then that should work. And then I can basically, if you haven't noticed already, the car has a OEM, brand new OEM GTR front bumper on it, and OEM GTR hood. It's actually white underneath, but it's wrapped like the Midnight Purple 3 color, just wrap. And then it has the stock GTT fenders, and the rest of the body is all GTT stuff. But obviously we're gonna change that sooner or later. I've never actually driven this because of the flat. I literally just drove it like maybe 20-30 feet here, and then it died, which was fun. So the clutch is like stiffy, but the thing is the catch is just like yours. So it's not hard. Like, it's definitely easier than the R32. And look, it actually stays in gear. I'm like, it's like, no, work. Ooh, look at that. We can actually switch driving positions because the electric gears work. That was my most annoying. Yeah, I forgot how much like features I was missing simply because of the Lotus. It's the rear's rubbing and the front's it's stuck on that quarter. You hear it? Yeah. Jeez. The good thing is I don't really care about messing up these quarters because it's GTR quarters. Although these quarters are really clean, so I don't want to be like an asshole. Right-hand drive in a minute, but it's not that hard to get used to. That sounds so nice. Good, it doesn't die. not actually. We're going 80 miles an hour. That's
what? No, it's not.
Doesn't make the popping noises that the GTR. Is the front windshield tinted too?
It looks like it.
Jesus Christ. Okay, these coils are horrible. Oh,
it's on the right side.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, these coilovers are actually worse than the ones that are. You hear the clutch when you clutch it? It's a carbon twin disc. So. So, as promised, I brought it to a parking lot. We drove it a bit. It's pretty close to being like a totally like ready to drive car. I mean, I knew this once again. None of this is like a surprise to me. But yeah, it rubs so much. Like these, I mean, he even said this has HKS coils and they're really shot. Like you could see the fluid like leaking out the bottom of the strut. Like they're shot. Especially with the wheel fitment in the back, it's just rubbing so much. The rear quarters aren't rolled or pulled at all. I might just do that at some point because I just don't care about the quarters that much, like being, you know, pristine, simply because they are going to be removed for the GTR metal quarters anyway. The front actually doesn't even rub for the most part, but yeah, I can't, if you heard me doing like a little micro pull, I can only really rev it to 5K, so before I start the spec thing, it's a built Neo, and it has basically like it has everything, it just needs a big turbo. And when they were tuning it, it basically ran out of fuel around 5,000 RPM because the fuel pump is totally stock. And it came with a 320 liter per hour AEM fuel pump, which I'll be installing. But that's basically the reason it wasn't able to fully be tuned through the power band and all gears and everything like that. So that's the main reason I can't, well, that is the only real reason I can't really floor it, because I don't want to, it'll lean out around 5-6K and up, because this motor could definitely rev to like 8 to 9K, because it's fully built and everything. And that brings me to my next point. So essentially this car is just a bone stock 2001 GTT with a built Neo and coilovers and an exhaust, a straight pipe exhaust. But everything else is literally like stock, as you guys saw. Even like my project car has more suspension mods than this, because the whole rear end is bone stock arms. The front is stock tension rods. Like I said, it just has coils. And obviously body-wise, you saw that it has a GTR OEM bumper. So now I have 3 GTR front bumpers, 2 which are OEM new and 1 which is just the fiberglass Nismo. Has the GTR hood, and it has the xenon headlights, which it actually came stock with. Some GTTs came with xenon stock. And yeah, and it's fully tinted, including the windshield, I found out, which is actually good for Arizona because this place is horrible. And yeah, the built Neo is a fully built Neo. And it's an RB25 Neo, which is the last gen of the RB25. It is the same motor in my project car, but the one in my project car is stock long block wise. I doubt that motor's really ever been opened up, which I kind of wanted on that car, since that's supposed to be a track car. I'd prefer it to be actually stock for the most part with bolt-ons, because that'll give you the least amount of issues, because usually, you know, staying stock is usually the best way for a car in some ways, especially if you want to track it a ton. And then this is, yeah, it's essentially stock. It has a GTR badge, because it is in fact a GTR. I have to take that off. It did actually have like a whole like MP built like kind of giant decal on both quarters, which Rachel took off while I was at work, thankfully, sweating, and well, it was like 108 degrees out. But yeah, the guy I got this from is MP built. His Instagram's on the description. You should go follow him and whatnot. He has an R35 GTR, but he's had this for like a minute. I saw this car last year at H2O, which I'll probably be bringing it this year to H2O, which is like a giant car show. But now I have 2 R34s, so hopefully I bring both. If not, I'll probably bring this one because it's more stockish with AC and radio and everything working. That's going to be a pain to figure out on mine, since I don't even have any of that stuff, technically, the wiring for it. But it really isn't even much I can say about this, huh? I could probably tell a better story about my project one than I can about this, because it really is just a stock GTT with a built RB25, and yeah, it's yeah, but it's black, so it looks cool with a midnight purple wrapped hood. This ankle right here looks really good, just because of the taillights, because I haven't really seen mine look like this for so long, so it's really cool to see this, like a finished R34, because I haven't really seen many in person. Yeah, you dig that R34. Yeah, but like I said, it's pretty close to being like drivable. I'm not going to daily it or anything just because it still needs some cooling mods. It does have an aftermarket radiator, but they removed the clutch fan, and there's only like one, I don't know, like a 12-inch fan on the driver's side, and that's it. And you want obviously a dual with a shroud on there. I'm not sure why they removed the clutch. I believe that's because when the motor was built, they just put the different harmonic balancer on it. Mine still has a clutch fan with OEM shroud, and then it has the OEM electric fan in the front, which is honestly a really good setup, because if you have a Nissan or anything that has a clutch fan, don't remove it, because clutch fans just are so damn reliable and good, and you rarely need your electric fan when you have a clutch fan, because they just push so much air, and since it's based on the engine RPM, it like works so well. But yeah. If you guys think this looks awkward, it's because it's missing the GTR lip. The GTR lip literally adds like a giant 2-inch chunk, and then the splitter adds another inch. So it makes it look like the front end is like super high up. But I mean, I don't know, it's like slightly lowered. I don't really know how to describe it, but yeah, it's very GDM. Hello, mister. Do you like it? Do you like the R32 more? Yeah, no, don't worry, I don't blame you for saying that. Yeah, that car was freaking perfect. That's actually the reason I got rid of it. So yeah, adventures begin. This is kind of like a micro project, I guess, which is probably a horrible thing to say because I feel like it's going to turn into a big project, but it's supposed to be a more simpler project than my actual project, because that is so overcomplicated that it doesn't even matter. Oh, yeah. See how high up it is? But yeah, like I said, the body's pretty mint. I didn't even look at the dash cluster. I forgot how many miles it has. I think it has like 100K km, which is about 60,000 miles, which is pretty low for 2001, you know, Nissan sports car. But yeah, like I said, micro project. Essentially, things on the to-do list first, honestly, just get it tuned. There's a local tuner that does RBs on it has an Haltech 1500 ECU, by the way. That's the only thing that's not stock, is it's a Haltech 1500, which is a super baller ECU. Haltech is like super great, along with Link and Adaptronics for RB motors. So I do have to get it tuned first after I change that fuel pump in the back. Just get it tuned. I don't really care what power it makes. It has like some weird Garrett like GT28 like turbo or something like that. So it'll probably make like close to 400 wheel. But I mean, the motor is actually built and rated for like about 900 horsepower. Do I want 900 horsepower? No, because it makes it totally undrivable, and then it makes it like more unreliable, and then you have to worry about more factors if you just want to drive it all the time. So there's a lot more factors that come into play with that, but this isn't going to really slow down the project in any way, the other one. Because if anything, it's going to make me want to get the other project to work faster, because, you know, I want to drive both cars at once. Well, with her driving one of them, which she's probably going to be driving this one, most likely, simply because it's more like stock and everything works, sort of, ish, almost. While my own project, since I built that all myself, there's going to be a lot of kinks to work out, so I actually want to almost daily drive that one once it's on the road, or once it's like roadworthy, because the easiest way to work out a bunch of kinks is by driving it a ton, and that's what I plan to do. And then I'll be obviously driving that one. I still have so many little things to buy, but essentially everything's there. Now I do have a full body. I still do not have a hood for it, which I'll figure out, but yeah, I mean, worst case, I might buy an aftermarket hood for this one and then like throw this stock one on that one. And then, you know, that's the good thing about having two of the exact same chassis too, is like, if you want to do that, you want to go through a drive-through with a right-hand drive car and get a million views like everyone else does with Skylines. But yeah, once again, it looks goofy with the wheels. I feel like every car I've owned, for the past 5 cars I've owned, they all end up with teal wheels, or these ones. Because I don't want to sell them. I came so close to selling them, but I'm like, dude, they're real rays. They're sick wheels. Just for either this car or whatever car they end up on, I want to just powder coat them bronze. Especially on this car, I think bronze would look sick. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it black. Once again, there's just so many factors to even talk about. I'm definitely just going to make a separate video where I'm going to start probably doing the GTR fenders, or I'm going to change the fuel pump, or I'm going to, you know, get it tuned. Like all that stuff will be kind of the next-ish video. But as I said, this car brought a ton of fiberglass Z-Tune parts over to the project, so I can totally start working on just having that look like a legitimate car. And hopefully there will be a Cars and Coffee soon, because we literally went to one with the Lotus the day before I sold it, and it was huge. And I don't know, I miss car activities because Corona, but I understand why. I got the JDM dogs and the JDM cars. So yeah, hopefully that was all the information you'd like. As always, please comment down below because I do read every comment. Just because I don't reply to every comment doesn't mean I don't read it. I really like interacting with you guys. The whole purpose I really like making these videos is just because it feels like I'm actually talking to someone. Because YouTubing was really weird when I started because there was no one watching my videos or commenting. So it's kind of like weird, you're just talking to a camera, but now it kind of feels like I'm actually talking to a greater audience that responds back. Especially for you guys that watch the videos a lot. If you're new, please do subscribe. I'm kind of trying to make a lot of Skyline oriented content, especially with the virus right now. It's a little bit hard since all I can do is inside, you know, locally. But definitely once things kick back up, I will be taking both Skylines to meets, events, track days, getting reactions, etc. I thought it'd be fun and cool for the channel. But like I said, comment down below if you have any questions. I'll try to answer every question involving the new car, and if you have any questions with the old car. If you don't know what color I'm painting this Millennium Jade. The engine bay is actually the color. This. Probably can't see it that well, especially because it's a little bit dirty, but Millennium Jade, that's what the whole car is going to be. That's why I paint matched the engine bay. But yeah, it's super awesome. That car obviously needs a little bit of work, but for the most part, it's a whole car, unlike this one. But I'm not going to talk about more about this car simply because this whole like body kit fitting process thing is going to be a whole like separate video I'd like to make on this, because you know if you haven't seen it, I literally built this thing from a bare shell, and everything that came out of that's in this car now came out of a front clip. So if you haven't watched that, please do watch that build series if you're interested in building stuff like that, because it was literally from scratch, everything in that car I did, which gives me a little bit of confidence to work on another one simply because I already know a lot of it since I put a lot of it in and I kind of know where it goes. But of course, before I mumble on too long, thanks so much for watching the video as always, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Let me know what you want in the next video. Like I said, it'll be probably something involved with the black car. Just, I don't know, installing the fuel pump, tuning it, maybe I'll order 2 wheels just for the rear that fit better, just so I can like drive it, because I do want to put all the OEM panels on that, but I don't want to do it immediately just because I want to enjoy it first. And then especially the quarters, that's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. But thanks so much for watching as always, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.